in this morning's Saturday session, one of the most influential rock musicians and producers ever, Jeff Lynne. Now leading a 21st century version of a hit-making powerhouse. Formerly the Electric Light Orchestra, the band's now called Jeff Lynne's ELO. I spoke with Lynne about that and about his remarkable career on stage and in the studio. Jeff Lynne launched ELO's comeback last fall at a festival in London's Hyde Park. That was the first time you'd been on stage publicly in how long?
Ooh, 28 years.
28 years.
Yes, so that's why I was a bit like full of trepidation.
When you played in the park that day and you looked out at the crowd, what did you see?
50,000 people. And wow, I can't believe it.
With its Beatles-influenced orchestral rock sound, the Electric Light Orchestra charted 20 top 40 hits in the 70s and 80s before Lynne walked away. Was there a reason you gave up ELO in 1986?
Yeah, the reason was I was just fed up with doing it, you know. And then about a month after I'd stopped doing it, that's when George Harrison got in touch with me to produce his album, Cloud 9.
I got my mind set on you. I got my mind set on you.
And after I'd done that, I bumped into Tom Petty in LA. You were driving down the same street, and he honked his horn and said, "Pull over." And so I said...
He just honked the horn on the street at you?
Yeah. And he went, "Jeff, do you fancy doing some work together, like writing some tunes together?" And the next thing I knew, we'd written Free Falling, and I went back down.
Those are the first two albums you produced once you leave ELO?
Yeah, yeah. And then the next one was The Travelling Wilburys.
Everybody's got somebody.
Lynne would join the supergroup that included Bob Dylan, George Harrison, Tom Petty, and Roy Orbison.
Won't you show me that you really care?
It was strange being me in it because I thought, well, I've never heard of him. And so, you know, it turned out to be a fantastic thing because we wrote 10 songs in 10 days, which is unbelievable. It's unheard of, really.
In 1994, Lynne got perhaps his most challenging assignment.
And the great thing is I actually produced the Beatles as well.
Yes, you did.
What a big head I am.
What's that like to go in the studio knowing you're producing the last two Beatles songs?
Absolutely amazing. I was frightened to death and also couldn't wait, you know, at the same time.
He took two old John Lennon tracks on cassette and had to blend them with the voices of then surviving Beatles, Paul, George, and Ringo.
I did it late at night, early in the morning. I didn't want anybody to get around when I did it because I wanted to make sure I could do it before I embarrassed myself. So Paul comes in the next morning. He was ever so happy. He said, "Wow, you've done it. Well done." And he gave me a great big hug.
Lynne might never have resurrected ELO if a British DJ hadn't asked listeners if they wanted to hear the band again. The emails poured in. Did that surprise you?
Oh, totally.
You thought, what, people had forgotten or didn't care?
Not really. I just didn't know what to expect, really.
What's the best part about coming back for you?
The warmth and reaction of the crowd, which I'd missed, really, I suppose. I was kind of thinking I didn't miss it at all, but now it's so brilliant to have that reaction and feel wanted and loved.